Let's take you to the Western Cape. That's where Commander-in-Chief of the SANDF President Cyril Ramaphosa will today lead the Armed Forces Day celebrations in Cape Town. The President will also lay a wreath at the Mendi Memorial site. Now, Armed Forces Day is held annually on this day to commemorate the sinking of the SS Mendi steamship, and that was back in 1917. Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana is on the story for us. She joins us now live. Athi, of course, it's yet another annual event being marked in the backdrop of COVID-19. Get us a sense of how different this Armed Forces Day is likely to look today.
Yes, Ayanda, about 616 soldiers from the South African Defence Force unfortunately died when the SS Mendi ship sank back in the First World War, Ayanda, and that particular event has gone down in the history books and continues to be celebrated. The Commander-in-Chief of the SANDF President Cyril Ramaphosa will deliver a keynote address. There will be a fly past. We have seen already the military air force preparing itself to, of course, participate in this event. I am joined, however, by Colonel Martin Fenny, who's going to talk to us about the Armed Forces Day. Colonel, the last time, I was just saying earlier on to Umpo that when we saw the military at Bloberg, there was a huge display of the military vehicles and the activities that the SANDF has to partake in. We saw explosions on the sand. We could see how fit your men are. And this year has certainly been scaled down. What can we expect this year?
Good morning, Madam, and good morning to the viewers. Of course, the Armed Forces Day is a very important event of the South African National Defence Force. As you would know, that this is the time on the day that we also commemorate the passing of the members of the South African National Defence Force, of course, during the Second World War, where we lost about 607 members. And you would notice that where we are, it's almost a confined space. In that we, as the Defence Force, as members of the defence, we respect all the laws of the country, as you would know, including its constitution. And in this case, we unfortunately cannot continue in the large scale as we used to do, owing to the scourge of the COVID-19. Of course, in the past, we have went out, in numbers, to participate in this event. Unfortunately, this time around, it is extremely reduced, once again, owing to the COVID-19 regulations. This time around, we will have just a platoon from the South African Navy that is going to do the parade here. And we will also have, the flight past that will be done by the South African Air Force. Of course, the PC-7s and the Caravans, and as well as the Gripen, that is going to do the flight past. That is all what we can afford. Unfortunately, the public will have to excuse us. We are only abiding by the laws of the country.
Now, Colonel, as I was saying to you, that last time you celebrated the Armed Forces Day in Cape Town, in Bloberg, we saw a huge display of the activities that are linked to the SANDF. We saw vehicles that we'd not ordinarily see as ordinary South Africans. Now, won't you just briefly talk to us about the kind of work that the SANDF has to do in as far as the training is concerned? We saw how fit your members were, who were displaying how they would react to situations where the country is a threat. For instance, we saw how there were explosions that they were showing us and showing how they would react then. So won't you perhaps just briefly, for South Africans who want to know better about the South African Defence Force, the National South African Defence Force, in as far as their work is concerned?
Yeah, no, if I may respond to that. Of course, when we have the commemoration of the SAS Mendi, which we call it the Armed Forces Day, we also, in the midst of things, also get the opportunity to prepare the forces, because it also acts as the force preparation for the South African National Defence Force. The demonstrations that you see, of course, it happens in the small scale, but we also, practice, the operational movement and so on, in order to project the forces where they're supposed to be. So it's not just, the commemoration. We also get the opportunity to prepare, the forces in terms of the operational movement and so on.
Now, it's interesting that this year, as you said, that everything has been reduced to a significant small number. Now, talk to us about the teams that are here. We're seeing the choir that's there in the corner that are going to be giving us musical items, and we see there's a tent that's erected there behind you. We understand that the Commander-in-Chief, the President Cyril Ramaphosa, will be delivering a keynote address. Now, won't you talk to us about the activities that are going to happen within this confined space of the Good Hope Castle?
Once again, Madam, probably you see quite a number of people that you see here. Some, of course, is just for preparations and so on. But once we come to the actual event, the numbers, again, will be much more reduced in order to keep to the required numbers. Even the band that you see there, that is the Army Support Base Western Cape band, which is also part of the Army. They are also reduced as you see them. That is not their actual strength. They're supposed to be quite much more than what you see. But unfortunately, we had to reduce them in order to keep to the required level.
Apart from knowing that the Commander-in-Chief is going to be here, who else is going to be here? Is the Minister going to be here?
Well, we are told that the Minister, she's going to be in the space today, and but from the military side, we are also expecting the Chief of the South African National Defence Force, General Sole Shoke, and of course with some members of the military command that are going to accompany him today. But of course the number is reduced. He is not bringing his entire members of the military command council, and he's only bringing a few of the members of the military council.
And lastly, before I let you go, what time are we expected to get the proceedings underway, and also what type of information or educational sessions are held within the SANDF to make the members aware of this event, this fateful event that took place when the SS Mendi ship sank? I know this is also an opportunity for South Africans as well to familiarize themselves and to also get information as to how that particular event took place, just to get a sense of things. And as far as that event is concerned, do you make your members aware of that particular event, and are they appraised as to how this entire session is expected to unfold?
The South African National Defence Force, every time when we host the Armed Forces Day, we have a lot of activities, and a part of those activities, we exploit the opportunity there to market the National Defence Force, and also to allow the young people to also get to know what is it that we do, because it might be very much interesting to the public. They see the soldiers, but they don't actually know what is it that we do. So that's the opportunity that we exploit. But unfortunately, once again, due to the COVID, we do not have none of those activities. We have scaled down completely. We have scaled down completely. And in fact, there is one that is also going to take place in Johannesburg today. But then there's also this one that is taking place today here. So here, as I said, it is once again a very scaled down type of event.
Are we expected to begin at around 11?
Yeah, sure. We are going to start at 11 o'clock. As you would know, that the military always does things according to the military precision. So 11 o'clock on the dot, we are expected to start.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Colonel Martin Fenny. You can go off. Thank you for your time. Now, he was just basically relaying the same sentiments that I was relaying about how South Africans know little about what the South African Defence Force actually does. And this is an opportunity that they will use to also display and talk more about the work that entails the Defence Force in South Africa. Now, we're expecting at any moment for the Commander-in-Chief of the SANDF President Cyril Ramaphosa to arrive. He'll be delivering the keynote address for this particular event, and we are expecting the fly past and that he'll be participating in the wreath laying ceremony and the wreath laying session of this particular Armed Forces Day event. At any moment now, the President will arrive, and of course the event is set to begin at 11 o'clock sharp, as alluded by the Colonel in the SANDF that I just spoke to, Colonel Martin Fenny.
Athi Mtongana, thanks very much indeed. We'll be with you at 11 o'clock as soon as those proceedings start. Athi Mtongana is live to us there from Cape Town.